Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to look at query strings, and the other one which came up before is how do we move from one page to another, but not using a hyperlink button like we did the last time, but just an ordinary button. Okay, so let's do that. So first thing I have to do is add a new page to my solution. So I'm going to add a new page, and again, it's a Windows Phone page. I'll just call this page. I'll leave it as page one .saml, and I'll click add to the solution. And I'm just more or less going to set it up the way I like it here. So again, for this one, I'm just going. This is the new page. Okay, and I'll just change the color of that one to kind of green. Okay. So now we have our new page, which is page one, and I have my XAML page here, which I have query strings here at the top. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to put a button on the page. Okay, so I'll put a button here. So how do I kind of move from one location to another? So again, I'll put my button on the page, and the first thing I'm going to do is click the button. Double click the button to get my CS or C# page coming up. Just make that a little bigger. Okay, you can see there I didn't bother renaming the button there just because I just left it at button 1 and button is the text there. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start off with the main page, and what I'm going to do here is just to get from one page to another. Okay, so I'll start typing in navigation. Okay, and I'll just put in nav there, and you can see what I'm looking for here is navigation service, which is here. Okay, so I'll take that. I can tab it or click it. Okay, and hit the dot. And what I want to do is take the navigate method. Okay, terminate the line there. So where do I want to navigate to? That's the argument that it takes. Okay, and I'll take this as as a new URI. Okay, so uniform resource indicator. Okay, and again that is a method within a method. Okay, so my parentheses. Okay, and inside of this I'll put the literal string of where I'm going. Okay, so I'll just put my inverted commas in there. And again, to move to that page, I'm just going to do / and the name of the page, which is page 1.xaml. Okay. Now, once I've typed in the page name, okay, that's enough there. Okay, let's just test this. So I'll save and run my application. Okay, sorry, before I do that, I just have to put the URI kind there, sorry, my mistake. Okay, so URI kind. Okay, so the URI kind dot, now is it going to be relative or absolute? Okay, so dot relative or absolute. Okay, that should do the trick there. Okay, just get my comma in there. Okay, and okay, let's run this. Okay, so here we are loaded up. Okay, so there's my button, and when I click the button, it takes me to the new page. Okay, that's perfect. The next thing I want to do is pass some information in the form of a query string. Okay, so first, what is a query string? A query string is where you pass something along, and we see this all through the event, and we see this a lot even on search. Let me give you an example here. Okay, I've just opened up the Moodle page here. Now, if I look at the links anywhere, left or right, okay, let's say what I want you to do is see where I have this spot here, just at the bottom left. As I mouse over one of the links, I want you to look in this area here. Okay, now look, if I look at library support, you can see there it's elearning.dbs.ie course view.php, and then there's a question mark, ID equals 1559. Okay, so again, ID is the indicator, and that 1599 is the value. Okay, again, 2135. If I come down here to the academic calendar, you can see there it's bringing you to default ASPX web page ID equals. Okay, but the trick here is, or what I want you to notice here, is the question mark and the equal to sign. Okay, so let's do that. So again, whenever we want to pass data, we use between a couple of pages. Again, we can use a query string. So again, how I do that again is a question mark. So you can see I want to pass something to page 1.xaml. So I put in a question mark. Everything after the question mark is the query string. So it comes in a kind of a named pair. So I'm going to say ID. Okay, and that equals, and I can put in Damien Kettle. Okay, so I'm going to pass my name. Okay, so that's the value. Okay, the value is Damien Kettle. Okay, the equal to sign, and the ID is the name of that value I'm passing. Okay, so how do I do this? Again, what I'll do is I'll just pop over now I'll just save that. Okay, I'll pop over to page 1.xaml. Okay, and what I want to do here is go into the my CS page. Okay, here, and on the CS page, what I wanted to do here is I want to show out what I just printed. Okay, actually, what I'll do is here on the page 1.xaml, I'll just put on a text block to show that. So text block. Okay, and I'll just take out the word text block there, and this I'll just call it LBL display. Okay, so this is going to display out my name. Okay, so let's go into the XAML page, or the CS page here. Just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, on this. Okay, so when do I want to? Now notice on this page I have nothing there to show that it's there's no button to click or whatever. So what I want to happen is when this page loads, it actually on the page load it actually puts it straight into that box. Okay, so I'm just going to click off the one here. Go in my properties, go to phone application, and come down here to events. And what I'm looking for here is the page loaded event. Okay, so you can see here what the page loaded is. I'm just going to double click that. And you can see there, it brings up back to my CS page, and it brings up phone application loaded event. Okay, and on this event, what I want to happen is I want LBL display.text to be set to the query string that I've just passed in. Okay, I'm going to use string format here, so string dot string dot format. Again, we've used this before, the string dot format method. Okay, and in this I'm just going to put what I want to happen. Okay, so I'm going to say what was passed in. Okay, what was passed in? It was my name. Okay, so I'll just put one. I just need one variable here. Okay, and now again, what is the variable I'm passing in? Okay, so I'll just pop in here navigation. Okay, what I'm looking for here is navigation context. And if I hit the dot notation there, I'll get query string. Okay, so which one? I'm just going to put in a set of squares here, so it can pick out the one item of what I want. What I'm going to put in here is the name of the value I passed, which was ID. Okay, remember the value was the actual string Damien Kettle, but the name of that was called ID. Okay, So let's run this and see how it looks. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the button and I'll click the button text and you can see passed in Damien Kettle. So remember that's the value of the ID here. Okay, let's move this on a little bit. What we'll do now is, let's say we want to pass in a value we don't know the thing from. So let's say back here on main page.xaml, I decide to put on a couple of text boxes, and whatever is put into the text boxes is passed directly to the new page. Okay, so let's do how I'll do that. First of all, I'll put on a couple of text boxes. Okay, and I'll call this txt first name. Txt first name. Okay, so I'll just pass in first name and last name. I'll just type that out. Okay, and in this I'll put in another one. Okay, text box. And like that. It'll be I'll just call this txt last name. Okay, so txt last name. I'll take the word text box out of that. Okay, so I have my first, let's move this up. Okay, so first name, last name, hit the button, and what we want to do is that to display out on page 1 XAML here. Okay, so how do I do this? Okay, what I'm going to do here, first of all I need to pass the information. Okay, so let's go back here, and again it's behind the button click event. And with the button click event here in main page, I'm just going to comment out this one here. Okay, and I'll type in the just so to keep this consistent. Okay, it'll be very similar. Okay, so what I want here is I want the navigation nav navigation service. Okay, dot navigate method. Okay, which is a method. Again, always put in your parentheses, and inside of that I want the new URI. Okay, which is the method again. Okay, and inside of this method, what we're going to do is I'm going to pop in again where it's going. Okay, so again, literal string / page 1 1.xaml ML. Okay, so everything was more or less straight to here as was the last name, but this time again what I'm going to do is question mark. Okay, and I'm going to have a variable called name. Okay, and again that variable name, what I'm going to do here is set that to or concatenated with. Okay, so it is my concatenation, which is the plus, and that I'm going to say is txt first name dot text. Okay, and again that will be concatenated with or joined to, and again I'll open up a literal string again, and it will be and the last name, so I'll use the ampersand last name. I'm putting all these in lowercase so we'll distinguish it between txt first name and last name and stuff like that. So last name is equal to, close that, and that will be concatenated with the txt last name. Txt last name. Okay, and I'll have dot text, and I'll have my comma and the URI kind dot relative or absolute. Sorry, get that out of the way there. Where you are. kind relative or absolute. Okay, so there's what I'm passing in. Okay, so you can see there I'm passing in a variable name, which is going to hold the context of txt first name, and a variable last name, which is going to hold the contents of txt last name.text. Okay, now again, what I need to do is display this over on page 1 of the XAML here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to comment out this one here, the original one we used. And what I'm going to do here is one we mightn't have seen before. It's called protected override. Now again, I'm just moving into something that's a little bit advanced with override and overload. But again, we'll come to that, but I'll need to use this in order to show that data here. Override void protected override void. Sorry, my mistake there. Protected override void void. Okay, and that. And what I'm looking for here is the method. You can see them there. And the one I'm looking for here is on navigation 2. Okay, so if I look for the one on navigation 2, okay, or just type in ONNAV, okay, you can see on navigation 2, which is this one here, and it puts in the actual argument as well. Okay, and not only that, does it put in the argument, it puts in what it's needed. It needs the base start on navigation 2 and then E. Okay, as I said there, this little bit here is just a little bit advanced. We'll just go over override and overload on another lesson. But again, that's how I would write this to collect the data. Okay, I want to declare those two variables, string, name. I put it in exactly the way it was, and I'm just going to set this to an empty string. Okay, string last name. And just set this. Remember these two variables we had over on page 1.xaml. Okay, so there's the two variables there. Now what I want to do again, we'll see, I'm going to do what's called the navigation context, navigation context dot query string and I want to get the try get value method. So it's going to try get the value. Okay, here, and what we're trying to do is what we're trying to output is name. Okay, and say name and out name. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that. Paste that in and put in last name and last name. Okay, and lastly what I want to do is just display that out. Okay, so we're going to use my LBL display, LBL display.text. Trying to type too fast. EX text. Okay, and that would be set to. Okay, we'll use string formatting again. Dot format. Okay, and in string.format what we'll have is first name, a colon, and the first variable. Okay, and we'll have last name, and a colon, and we'll have our second variable. Okay, and actually what I'll do is I'll just put these on a new line, so we'll do \n there in front of, so first name, last name appears in the new line. Okay, and here I just want the variables, which are name, comma, last name. Okay, let's test this out. Okay, I'll just run it here. Okay, here I'll just hit page up on my keyboard, and I'll pipe in. Okay, okay, click the button, and as you can see there, first name Damien, last name Kettle. Again, the \n there, giving it the new line. And again, like that, if we wanted to, we could format out that page 1.saml. If I decide, I could format this out, okay, and have the text coming out exactly the way I want. So foreground, if I select red, okay, red text, okay, and I select size, font size, okay, 16. Okay, again, I could run that again and just show you the way it will work. Okay, so Joe, okay, blogs. Okay, and you can see it there. Okay, I should have made that font just a bit bigger again. Okay, it's a bit small. Okay, but you see where I'm going with this. Okay, that's passing data and query strings. Thank you for your attention.